Scores! It was tipped out front, it looks like by Hayden Rivette. And the Wranglers are up 1. It's in the crease, she scores! David Duggan! 5 minutes even. And your captain, welcome everyone to the ranch here live in Kingston, Ontario, Canada, home to your Kingston Wranglers. And good evening to a very stormy, I guess, North America. We want to send a very quick shout out all the way down to Virginia. And Sam got 2 feet of snow today down in Virginia, which they don't usually see. Well, we call that a Wednesday afternoon up here in Canada. But Sam, thank you so much for joining us here. As we're about to get underway, Sherbrooke in town tonight, as Kingston looking to still find their winning ways here. Starting lineup for your Kingston Wranglers, Lance Brown, Emmett Guest, and Mathieu Sylvain on the point, Marcus Forbes, and Aston Rose. As Lance Brown gets set to get in, and we're underway. Face off won by Lance Brown. They force on the outside. Emmett Guest can't get a stick on that. Browner now shoots this one in. He's going to chase it on the forecheck. Nice hard hit. Bouncing puck. Goalie can't find it. Still can't find it as Emmett Guest came in to bang that one in as the defenseman had to cover that one. He tried to come in as hard as he could on that one and just couldn't seem to get that in. Very close on that one. Just couldn't quite get a handle on that. Face off won by the Wranglers. Going to keep that one in. Marcus Forbes hammers this one around left right behind Peltor, the goaltender for Sherbrooke. Sylvain's going to put this back to Forbes, back off the board to Rose. And dumped back in by Sherbrooke. Neal comes out to play this one in behind the net as Forbes comes back as well, hammers this one around. One tip pass by Guest to get that one out. Lance Brown on the step. Nice little move by Brown and just lost his footing on that one as he got inside. Sylvain now tries to get this one in. Lance Brown gets a change in. David Duggan comes on for your Wranglers. That's your captain. Sylvain tried to work this one out, couldn't get it. He still controls. Tries to find the outlet pass. He's going to go back to the point. Long distance shot, bouncing puck. And Pelter's going to hang on to that one at 18:45. Well, Randy Steady Hand, cameraman, has the night off, and we got Chris, the cameraman, tonight. Steady Hand, we have no idea, but we'll figure that one out as we go. Big storm here as everybody is in North America tonight, so we had to make do with what we got. Sherbrooke wins this draw. They're going to fire this one down the ice, bouncing puck. This should call icing as Logan Grimbleby beat the defenseman back. Logan Grimbleby from London, Ontario, 6'4", about a $183. Saber, Davis, and Duggan up on the forward line. Sherbrooke wins the draw into the corner. Try to find their way out. David Duggan now puts a stick on him, tries to fight their way in. Sherbrooke on the outside. Long distance shot. Neal easily kicks that one high out of play. As we'll go back and take a look at the nifty little footwork there earlier by Lance Brown as he was trying to dipsy doodle in. You'll see it right here. Make the great move. And then there's the second move. Just lost his footing and down he went. Face off was won by the Wranglers. They get this one out. Steven Saber now bumped off the puck as Duggan tried to get a stick on that. Grimbleby puts it up to Davis. Duggan now gets this one. He's got Saber out front of the net. Your captain on the outside tries to force his way in. Shot around hard. Grimbleby keeps that in at the line. Out front by David Duggan. Sherbrooke's going to grab this puck and revamp. They fire this one around. Saber steps up. They do get it out. If you need to tighten that, just twist it to the right. Sherbrooke behind the net now. David Duggan on the forecheck. Rose is going to step in on the half board. He's going to circle outside, look for David Duggan. Nobody there. Big hard hit behind the play as they work this one out. Forbes has to reach. He's going to backtrack on this one off the board to Gavin Garley. Sherbrooke has to wait and tag up. Long distance shot knocked down by Sherbrooke. Ty Wood on the forward line now. He's going to pick this one up. He's up there with Jackson Payne and Garley. Garley on the forward check. Fights his man into the corner. Now Wood. On the half board, Ty Wood beats his player there. Kept at the line. This is Rose. Couldn't get anything really on that one. Shot into the corner. Sherbrooke can't clear. Garley handles this one into the corner. Quick pass by Wood. Nobody there. Out comes Sherbrooke 1-on-2. Garley also back. Lots of Wranglers. Sherbrooke goes the outside, cuts in the outside, steps around Neal and scores. As there wasn't much to do for Neal there as the Sherbrooke player walked all the way in from the outside. And 1-0. We'll see it there. Great control. He just walks in and takes a nice, really big, long step around Neal and tucks it in. 1-0 for Sherbrooke. At 16:46. Face off, won by Lance Brown. He shoots this one through. Sherbrooke controls, though. They're going to put this off the board. This is Ledger. Fired that one in behind Neal. Blake Wood now gets back on that one. Emmett Guest comes in on the half board. The BC native battles his man on the half board. Sherbrooke can't control. Wranglers get this one out. Still can't get a stick on this one. Nice hard hit. Referee got caught up in that one. Blake Wood hammers that one across over to Grimbleby. Logan Grimbleby on the outside. One hands this one in. Battles his way through. Still has control. Grimbleby skates right through the defenseman for Sherbrooke. Bouncing puck. Brown couldn't keep that in. He's got to backtrack. He's going to walk right in through both players. Brown's got a bit of a step tonight. Kind of nice to see. Sauvé puts that down to the lower corner. Sauvé controls. Sauvé trying to battle his man. Lance Brown stepping in. Now Grimbleby steps up. Out comes Sherbrooke. 2-on-2. They opt to change. 1-on-2 now. Fired wide off a foot. Blake Wood is going to hammer this one down. Bouncing puck. Sherbrooke controls. They're going to carry this one in as Sauvé pushes his man to the outside on the half board. He's pressured by Duggan now into the back. This is Blake Wood in behind the net. Your captain comes back to help out. Bouncing puck, shoots it into the back of Guest. He gets this out. This is Sauvé. He's going to fire this one in. Pelter had to come out and knock that to the side. Now they can't control. Sauvé turns fire. Here's Saber shoot. And what a glove save by Pelter as he had to step up on that one real quick to grab that. As what an opportunity for Steven Saber. As the Wranglers are buzzing, we'll go back and take a look at that one. You'll see there's the pass right there, and Saber grabs that one pretty quick. And Pelter flashes the leather and keeps it 1-0. Duggan, Davis, and Sabre up front for your Wranglers as Rose steps in on the back. Keeps it into the corner. Sabre battles his man. Back to Rose. Rose has to fire that one back in. Sherbrooke controls on the half board. They're going to circle to break out. Out comes Sherbrooke over the line. Dumped into the corner. Forbes now chases his man to the corner. Duggan also comes in. Battles his man on the side. Sherbrooke controls. Now they're on the half board, trying to find their way out. 14:39 remaining of the first period. Sherbrooke still forced to the outside through the neutral zone. Nobody there. Sabre's going to shoot this one out. Now it's a foot race. This is Davis. He's going to try and beat his man, and icing is the call. Face-off will take place to the right-hand side of Neil, won by the Wranglers into the corner. This is Sabre trying to get across on the far side. Steven Sabre from the New York. Only 5'6", but he's a thick boy. Bouncing puck. This is Davis in behind everybody. Tries to circle this one out. Can't. Takes a hit. Lots of Sherbrooke players back. They're going to carry this one out. We're getting our first look at Aiden Sager as well as they're going to put this one out. Sherbrooke has to back as the Wranglers complete their change. Ty Wood, Gavin Garley, and Aiden Sager now out for your Wranglers on the forward line. Grimbleby hits his man to the corner. Sherbrooke walks out, fires. Nice save by Neal. He knocks that down. Sager now going to turn, spin, tries to get this one. He does. Bouncing puck. Couldn't control. Now Ty Wood on the forward check. Sherbrooke works this one around. This is Bienvenu as he circles long, wide to the right-hand side. Tries to cut in. Grimbleby forces him to the outside. Forces his check. As Sager tried to clear that one, picked off by Sherbrooke, shot high away. Ty Wood gets this one out now. A forecheck. They dump this back in. Sherbrooke changes. Wranglers opt to stay on. Guest does come out, though, on a small change as Grimbleby goes D to D. This is Blake Wood. Up to Ty Wood. Off his foot and out of play at 13:01. Thank you so much for joining us here on Black Bear TV live from the ranch, Kingston, Ontario, Canada. Face-off will take place out front of the zone. Face-off pushed through and won by Lance Brown. Sherbrooke's going to turn fire. They're going to back up. This is Rose. Browner's back as well, and Forbes. They're going to shoot this one around on the half board. No Wrangler there. Picked off by Rose. Sherbrooke gets control back. They try to work this through the outside. Long distance shot. Neal kicks that to the side. Slashed away by Rose. They still control. Aston Rose from Gananoque, just down the road here from Kingston. He's going to bank this. Funny bounce that came right back to the Sherbrooke players. They come right back inside. High shot away from Neal. They can't control. Icing waved off. The defense changes for the Wranglers. Guest, the BC native on the forecheck. He's helped out there by Garley. Lance Brown races. He's going to keep that in. Now Guest turns it over. He has control. He tries to put it in behind the net. Sauvé battles his man behind the net. Can't work out front. Guest has to put this back to Grimbleby. Grimbleby keeps it in and takes a check. Again, great play by Grimbleby at the line, off the foot. Lance Brown shot off the blocker of Pelter and out of play. 11:48 remaining of the first period. 1-0 for Sherbrooke. Face-off will be to the right-hand side of Pelter. Guest, Sabre, and Davis out there. Grimbleby and Wood on the far side. Long-distance shot by Blake Wood off to the side. Grimbleby has to step in off the draw. He's hit hard in the corner as Sherbrooke controls behind the net. Sherbrooke now carries this out. David Duggan caused the turnover. No forechecker for the Wranglers, though. Sherbrooke controls. Off the half board, they're going to carry this one out. Steven Sabre couldn't get a stick on that one. Nice breakup play by your captain, David Duggan. They try to work this one inside. Out comes Sherbrooke, 2-on-4. Lots of Wranglers back. Broken up by Grimbleby. Nice defensive play by him. Shot out by Sherbrooke. They're going to carry this win. Long distance fire in. Neal's going to stop this one. He's going to put it up to Grimbleby. Grimbleby couldn't get this one out. Davis is going to help out along the half board. He's going to bump his man into the corner. Grimbleby now helps, shoots this one around. Sabre comes in to help out. Sherbrooke player beats him there off his foot. Nice little nifty play there. It's flicked out. Icing will be negated. It won't make it all the way down as Davis forechecks. Duggan and Sabre both change. As Sager and Payne come out, Jackson Payne. And now Garley comes out, finishing off that full line change. Dump in by Sherbrooke, try to work it through. Glove down by Sabre. Sabre works to the outside, try to get this one out. Nobody touches it, goes out across the line. We're sneaking up on the halfway mark through the first period. Jackson Payne and Garley on the forecheck. As Sherbrooke controls, they go left to right behind Pelcher. They're going to carry this one out. Jackson Payne tries to cut him off. Sherbrooke has to back. Picked off by Lance Brown. Brown works on the outside, has a man with him. That's back to Sager. Tries to find their way through the legs. Back. This is Forbes. Forbes is going to shoot this in behind the net. Bouncing puck. Sager now has this. Tries to work it out. He opts to hang on to it. Bounce it off the puck. Payne couldn't control. And Sherbrooke comes back the other way. They're going to bank this one. This will be icing. Nope, icing is waved off as the Sherbrooke player beat back the Wrangler defenseman as Rose carries this in. Long distance pass up to Guest. Guest controls. He's by himself. He's going to get it right back to a long shot high above the glove of Pelter. Misses the net. And Sherbrooke's going to clear this one. As Wood steps up, knocks that away. Sager takes a swing. Can't control that. He fires it in. Goes for his change. Gaston Brown out there. Sauvé is going to come out for Sager. Brown forces his man back, fires it in. Guest tags up. 8:50 remaining of the first period. Sherbrooke now tries to work this one out. Lots of forecheckers by the Wranglers as they try to get back. David Duggan picks up the straggler. Grimbleby puts his man into the net in the far side at 8:35.
This Kingston Wranglers broadcast brought to you by Baja Craft Kitchen, inspired by the collective culinary journey of its founders. With a passion for fresh flavors, we offer thoughtfully crafted cuisine and creative cocktails.
Again, thank you so much for our wonderful sponsors here at Wrangler Hockey, live on Black Bear TV. Face off to the left-hand side of Neal, won by the Wranglers. Grimbleby on the half board, up to Davis. Davis couldn't control. Sherbrooke now controls, carries it back in. They work on the outside, give and go in behind the net, look for the shooting lane. Lots of sticks there. Wranglers, busy sticks in the shooting lane. Sherbrooke tries to work this one low. Blake Wood battles his man behind the net. Sherbrooke controls on the outside. D to D on the outside, long distance shot. Neal hangs on to that one. At 8:04 of the first period, 1-0 for Sherbrooke. Sherbrooke goes for the change, as do the Wranglers. Face off, won by Duggan into the corner. Sherbrooke controls. Off a foot, bouncing puck. Rose had to get rid of that one in a hurry. As Sabre flicks this one out off the glove of the Sherbrooke player, negates the icing as Davis forechecks. Now Steven Sabre's going to forecheck, knocks it down the half board. It's given support by David Duggan. They try to get this one out. Bouncing puck. Sabre now has it. Puck gets stripped off of him. Now they clear. 1-on-4 as Sherbrooke comes back the other way. Rose stands his man up right in the middle of the ice. Turn fire off a glove. And Wranglers forecheck on this one as Sherbrooke has to go back yet again. 7:25 remaining of the first period. Rose is going to grab this one on the outside, works it on the outside. Forbes up to Duggan. Duggan takes a small bump and circles back. Ty Wood now on the forward line along with Jackson Payne. Duggan tried to get a change, but they went into their own zone. Good heads-up play by your captain to make sure he stays in the play. as Forbes battles his man low in the corner. David Duggan, the captain, also helping out. Sherbrooke comes away with the puck, works on the outside. Sherbrooke's going to walk right in through on the outside. Here's a long shot off a blocker of Neal. He kicks that to the side as Jackson Payne shoots this down the ice. And icing is the call at 6:37 of the first period.
This Kingston Wranglers broadcast brought to you by Bar Homes, with 70 years of deeply rooted history in the construction industry of Kingston and the surrounding areas. The Bar family is pleased to help local family create their legacies by sharing our expertise and excellence in building.
Bouncing puck, face-off, won by Sherbrooke. Rose hauls his guy down, no calls. They put up through the middle. Jackson Payne shoots the puck into the corner. Ty Wood tries to help him out. Payne almost got a stick on that one. Sherbrooke had to pan to get that one out off a foot of Sager. He keeps that in. They dump it into the corner. Jackson Payne and Ty Wood going for a change. Emmett Guest and Sauvé come out for them. So it's Sager, Guest, and Sauvé on your forward line. Long distance shot off the foot into the corner. 6 minutes remaining of the first period. 1-0 for Sherbrooke as Guest goes back, circles away, gets bumped off the puck. Wood controls, puts it up through the middle. Sauvé now one-on-one. He's going to circle the outside. Nice toe drag, quick release. And Pelter's got to kick that to the side. Sauvé circles away. He's bumped by his man in the corner. Given support by Guest. Guest has to go back to Blake Wood. Penalty coming up against Sherbrooke. Delayed penalty. There's the call. Interference is the call as an opportunity presents itself for the Wranglers to go to their first power play. Power play for the Wranglers, 5:31 of the first period. Great opportunity for your Wranglers. D to D, long distance shot as Duggan shoots that. Pelter's going to hang on to that one. As they keep this to the outside, David Duggan, your captain, steps in. He's up there with Garley, Davis. Steven Saber is your forward play in D, and Grimbleby. Duggan now works this low in behind the net. This is Garley trying to find the outlet pass. He goes back to Saber. Saber back to Garley. They work this one low. He lets it go. Davis helps out in behind the net. Bouncing puck. Pelter had to clear his own puck. Off a leg. David Duggan tries to get a stick on that. Knocked down by Grimbleby. And Steven Saber gets a control and back to David Duggan. Duggan gains the line. Works to the outside. Bouncing puck. Davis battles his man. Saber's got to hammer this one in off a leg. Turn, fire, and Sherbrooke tries to clear. Saber works this back, D to D. Grimbleby out there. He goes outside. Rose now out. We're about halfway through the interference call against Sherbrooke. One touch pass to Rose. He tries to toe drag through. Sherbrooke controls. They're going to turn, fire this one down. The puck picked off by Saber. Wranglers have to clear quick. They do. Steven Saber to the outside. Rose now has to touch up. Carry that one in, back to Saber on the half board. Saber fires that one in. Davis tries to beat his man. They're going to hammer this one across. Guest is going to knock this down in control. Emmett Guest now controls in on the half board, circles away. Wranglers trying to get free. Don't know how many sticks had to haul Guest down there. No call by the official. Back the other way, 2-on-1 shorthanded. Nice save by Neal on that one. Last little hurrah here for the Wranglers. They carry this one in. This is Forbes on the outside. Drop pass. This is Sauvé. He's going to walk right in. Quick shot, just misses wide. No Wrangler on the outside. Back come Sherbrooke again. 2-on-1 shorthanded. Broken up by Rose. Nice play by Rose. Turn, fire. Neal kicks that to the side. And we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Sauvé is going to carry this. He's going to drop it for Rose. Back up to Sauvé. Sauvé back to Rose. Rose on the far side off a stick high out of play at 3:13 As that play turned over very quick, go back the other way, and Neal had to step up on that 2-on-1. We'll see it right here. Here's the 2-on-1, and Neal had to kick that one out right there, and he keeps it within one. This is now Blake Wood. He tries to work this one up off a stick of Steven Sager. It's on the outside. Grimbleby now has to go back to pick this up. He goes to his partner, Blake Wood, off the board. Short pass up to Jackson Payne, who drops it up for Sager. Back pass, no one there. Payne knocks his man off. Sager on the backhand. Back comes Sherbrooke, 3-on-1. They work it on the outside. Could be a shot. And Neal handcuffs and hangs on to that one at 2:39 remaining of the first period. Austin Neal, left-handed goaltender, 6 foot, 168 from Las Vegas, Nevada. Crushed legs come out for your Wranglers. This is Duggan, Davis, and Saber. Rose and Forbes on the point. Face off won by Sherbrooke. They walk in. Blocker save away by Neal. Gets a stick put on him. He's not impressed by that. Saber now is going to flick this one high. Icing waved off. Davis is going to chase his man in. Rose has to go to his defense partner. They're going to bank this one in. Everybody's still offside. They're going to move this up. Forbes is going to stop. He'll turn, flick this one down the ice. Bouncing puck. David Duggan can't get a handle on that bouncing puck. As Forbes stepped up, just missed the big hit there. Now they work to the outside. Shot around on the half board. Sherbrooke's going to keep this one in. 2 minutes remaining of the first period. Sherbrooke can't get it on the outside. Forbes broke that up. Now Sager comes back. Sager comes back the other way. Bouncing puck, still can't keep it in. Davis is going to chase this one around the outside. Long distance pass knocked down by Sherbrooke. Backhanded in. 1:40 remaining of the first period. 1-0 for Sherbrooke. As Wood goes behind his back. Up to Rose. Rose puts this up to Saber. He's going to carry it on the line. He's got Guest and Duggan with him. Long distance shot, tipped high and away. Grimbleby beats his man to the line and keeps it in play. Nice play there. Oh, Emmett Guest with a great opportunity and just couldn't hammer that one past Pelter as he got over there at the last second and knocked that one down. As you see them work this in on the outside, right there. There was Saber right there to Guest. Nice flick. Pelter knocks that down. And he keeps the net cleared. 1-0 still for Sherbrooke. Face off won by the Wranglers. Long distance shot in. Pelter kicks that to the side. Sherbrooke's now going to control out. High distance bouncing puck. Gets through. Grimbleby handles his man down. Hooking will be the call against Logan Grimbleby as the goaltender Pelter gets to the bench. And Blake Wood's going to touch the puck. Hooking will be the call against Logan Grimbleby at 1:03 remaining of the first period. Again, thank you so much for joining us here on Black Bear TV, live from Kingston, Ontario. The Ranch. 1:03 remaining. Logan Grimbleby, 5-on-4. Hooking. Brown wins the draw he forces. He's going to fire this one all the way down as we get under the 1 minute remaining of the first period. Sherbrooke's now going to set up behind their own net. Sylvan's going to touch base on this one, start backing up. Lance Brown out there, Rose and Wood. Sherbrooke don't like what they see. They're going to circle back, try to find their way in. Sylvain on the forecheck on this one. Sherbrooke still can't find their way in. They're trying to twist this one around, trying to find their opening. Brown puts a stick on Bevenu. He can't do it. Sylvain now steps up. Still can't find their way in. 20 seconds remaining in this period. Saint Laurent now is going to force to the outside off a foot of Rose. Turn fired back down by Sylvain. 11 seconds remaining. Change for Brown. A Saber comes out now. Fired around the outside. Bouncing puck almost went out front. Sherbrooke's going to shoot this one last time. Bouncing puck missed wide. And at the end of the first period, 1-0 Sherbrooke. We go off to the intermission show here live at the Ranch, and we will catch you on the other side.
This Kingston Wranglers broadcast brought to you in part by Realm Sports Spring Tournaments. Check out all the tournaments they have to offer. In their 16th year of hosting tournaments, Realm Sports is proud to offer various spring tournaments for all levels in Kingston. Their tournaments include Adult Hockey Classic, Ontario Prospects D2, D3, and Junior Boys Hockey Challenge, Ontario Prospects Girls Hockey Challenge, Ontario Prospects Ringette Invitational, and the Realm Spring Cup House League Tournament. Register your team today at realmsports.com. This Kingston Wranglers broadcast brought to you in part by Realm Sports, hosting spring hockey 4-on-4 leagues in Kingston, Napanee, and Girls League only based out of Napanee as well. Head on over to realmsports.com to register your player today.
This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers Hockey brought to you by HDC Kingston Realm Sports. Hockey Development Center Kingston is the newest state-of-the-art facility brought to Kingston, located at 1325 Centennial Drive. It offers programs to players from U8 to U20. Programs include our skate mill training and total training package, utilizing our 2 skate mills, Fusion Skating Zone, and much, much more. This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers Hockey brought to you by. In their 16th year of hosting tournaments, Realm Sports is proud to offer various spring tournaments for players of all levels in Kingston. Tournaments include our Ontario Prospects D2 and D3 Boys Hockey Challenge, Ontario Prospects Girls Hockey Challenge, Ontario Prospects Ringette Invitational, and the Realm Spring Cup House League Tournament. Register your team today at realmsports.com. This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers Hockey brought to you by TPH. Realm Sports Academy, powered by TPH, is an academy offered to students grades 6 to 12, looking for a holistic approach to academics. The academy offers specialization in sports, including hockey, baseball, softball, and golf. This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers Hockey brought to you by 417 Bus Line, founded in 1958 in Castleman, Ontario, is a bus and charter transportation provider serving the Ottawa region with a large fleet of over 850 vehicles. This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers Hockey brought to you by Realm Sports is a family-centered multi-sport academy located in Kingston, Ontario. They offer a variety of programs, including sports tournaments, spring hockey leagues, teams, and camps designed for different age groups. The organization focuses on providing exciting and educational sports experiences.
This Kingston Wranglers broadcast brought to you in part by Realm Sports Spring Tournaments. Check out all the tournaments they have to offer. In their 16th year of hosting tournaments, Realm Sports is proud to offer various spring tournaments for all levels in Kingston. Their tournaments include Adult Hockey Classic, Ontario Prospects D2, D3, and Junior Boys Hockey Challenge, Ontario Prospects Girls Hockey Challenge, Ontario Prospects Ringette Invitational, and the Realm Spring Cup House League Tournament. Register your team today at realmsports.com. This Kingston Wranglers broadcast brought to you in part by Realm Sports, hosting spring hockey 4-on-4 leagues in Kingston, Napanee, and Girls League only based out of Napanee as well. Head on over to realmsports.com to register your player today.
This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers Hockey brought to you by HDC Kingston Realm Sports. Hockey Development Center Kingston is the newest state-of-the-art facility brought to Kingston, located at 1325 Centennial Drive. It offers programs to players from U8 to U20. Programs include our skate mill training and total training package, utilizing our 2 skate mills, Fusion Skating Zone, and much, much more. This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers Hockey brought to you by, in their 16th year of hosting tournaments, Realm Sports is proud to offer various spring tournaments for players of all levels in Kingston. Tournaments include our Ontario Prospects D2 and D3 Boys Hockey Challenge, Ontario Prospects Girls Hockey Challenge, Ontario Prospects Ringette Invitational, and the Realm Spring Cup House League Tournament. Register your team today at realmsports.com. This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers Hockey brought to you by TPH. Realm Sports Academy, powered by TPH, is an academy offered to students grades 6 to 12, looking for a holistic approach to academics. The academy offers specialization in sports, including hockey, baseball, softball, and golf. This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers Hockey brought to you by 417 Bus Line, founded in 1958 in Castleman, Ontario, is a bus and charter transportation provider serving the Ottawa region with a large fleet of over 850 vehicles. This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers Hockey brought to you by Realm Sports is a family-centered multi-sport academy located in Kingston, Ontario. They offer a variety of programs, including sports tournaments, spring hockey leagues, teams, and camps designed for different age groups. The organization focuses on providing exciting and educational sports experiences.
Welcome back to the second period here at the Ranch, Kingston, Ontario. Wranglers and Sherbrooke locked up as we're going to get this thing started. Power play still for Sherbrooke. Logan Grimbleby in the box currently for the Hook. 1-0. Don't forget to check around for all news for the Kingston Wranglers. Follow them on Instagram at the USPHL Wranglers, also at Realm Hockey. That's RELM sports.com. And also you can find all their social media stuff and more on the USPHL website. Lance Brown, Sauvé up front, Rose and Blake Wood on the point as we're stepping in for the second period. Brown wins the draw right through. Rose missed that one in quick. And Neal flashes the leather on that one as save right into the gate. Just a bouncing puck. Rose couldn't get a stick on that one. 1-2 cleanly by Browner. 51 seconds remaining in the penalty to Grimbleby. Bouncing puck back to the point. Sherbrooke controls. Tries to find their way in. Long distance shot blocked by Lance Brown. We've talked about it all season. Coach Majors worked on his team blocking up that shooting lane. Off another foot. Last year, the Wranglers were second last in the league for, I guess, second top in the league for most shots allowed. As Neal kicks that one to the side. This year, they're well within the middle of the pack, which is a big change for the Wranglers. Sherbrooke tries to work on the outside. Neal kicks Dred, slap shot one-timer away, 17 seconds remaining as they try to work around the outside. Sherbrooke keeps it at the line. Sylvain stays on him. Lance Brown out there still, along with Rose and Blake, are 8 seconds away from the penalty to Grimbleby being over. Lance Brown couldn't clear that one. They work to the outside. Sherbrooke can't get their shot away. Back even 5-on-5 hockey. As Guest tries to catch up, he's going to cut in. Banks that in behind the net. They try to work it out. Here's a shot. Neal's going to grab and hang on to this one at 18:49 remaining of the second period. Forms and Grimbleby now out here for on the point. Guest, Sabre, and Duggan come out on your forward lines. David Duggan, your captain, steps in for the draw. Face off, won by your captain. Forbes over to Grimbleby. Sabre has to go back on the half board, works it down through the middle. Emmett Guest couldn't get to it. They tried to work it back inside. Nice forward check by Guest. Sherbrooke stays on side as they carry this one in on the outside. Grimbleby forces his man into the corner. Can't find their way in. Sherbrooke still can't find their way inside. They work to the outside. Sherbrooke tries to work around. Can't find their way in still. Nice broke up pass by Guest. As Forbes is going to flick this one out. And Guest controls over to Sabre. Sabre long shot. Pelter had to grab that one as Guest took a dive at that one and couldn't get it in. Still 1-0. I'm going to tell Sam down in Virginia that CJ's being a handful up here.
Job. Yes.
Chris, the cameraman's doing an okay job. He's no Randy steady hand cameraman, but he'll fill in. Face off will come outside for the Wranglers as the top line still stays out there of Davis, Sabre, and Duggan. Grimbleby and Forbes. David Duggan had a little tangle up there with Ledger on the far side, took a swing at him. Not sure where that came from. As Wisconsin says, a little hi-ya. Puck broke out. Out comes Davis. Duggan's now catching up with him. Davis tries to put it in the feet. Bouncing puck. David has control. Almost gets this out as Pelter's got to shut the door on that one. Davis stands his ground. One of the new Wranglers here. Battles his way through. 17:45 remaining of the second period. Face off to the right-hand side of Pelter, won by David Duggan, back to Blake Wood. Long shot. Duggan couldn't tip that one in. On the half board, he finds his hit on Ledger, throws that opportunity hit he could. Again, those two have been tangled up all game. Rose slashes Ledger here a little bit. Ledger's got something going on with the Wranglers right now as Rose wanted to line him up again. Ledger was smart to pull away from that one as Rose knocks this one down. They work on the outside, can't find their way, turn fire. Neal shuts the door as Ledger tried to find the top corner. Sherbrooke now tries to find their way in. Wood keeps his man on the outside, Duggan back as well. Sherbrooke keeps this in at the line, bouncing puck. David Duggan throws his hit. They try to work this one out. Going to be a high sticky call against David Duggan as they come right back into this one. And Sherbrooke gets the chance to go to the power play again. 16:59 of the second period. Duggan goes in for high sticking. Rose is still having a chat with this Ledger kid here from Sherbrooke.
He's making his money's worth tonight.
Face-off will take place to the right-hand side of Neal. Brown steps in. He'll be doing the short-handed draw here. Rose is out there, Blake Wood and Sylvain. Face-off won by Sherbrooke. They try to work around the outside, give and go. Sherbrooke still can't find their way in. Lots of stick work on the outside, long-distance shot. Neal, it was in his equipment. He had to turn and find that one as it's turned and fired down by Blake Wood. 16:41 remaining of the second period, 1:38 remaining in the penalty to David Duggan for high sticking. Out comes Sherbrooke. They got to cut all the way back, trying to find their way in. Sherbrooke's got to back all the way up. Sauve's not going to chase behind the net as they tee this one back up. Long distance square on this one. Nice broke up pass, offside delayed. Sherbrooke does get it out as they still can't find their way in. Blake Wood steps up on the line, forces his man to the outside, breaks that one up, finishes his check in the corner. Sauve also helps out. Sherbrooke has to work their way back, now trying to find a shot. Bouncing puck. Neal knocks that one away. On the ice, tip to the outside. Again, busy sticks. As Blake's is going to turn to fire this one. Couldn't get it out as the net came off. Quick whistle by the referee. Referee got a little jumpy with that whistle as the net was knocked off. Wranglers were in control. Could have gotten that one out. Brown steps in. He's still stuck out here on the ice. Sherbrooke wins the draw. Sauve still out here with Brown as well. They couldn't change on that. Sherbrooke tries to work around the outside now for a shot. Tipped high and away in the back of the net. Sherbrooke gets it off. 38 seconds remaining in the penalty to David Duggan. Sherbrooke works to the outside, tries to find their way in. They have to force their way to the outside. Nice break-up play by Brown. Nice square up by the Wranglers. Busy sticks. Closing up that shooting lane as off the foot of Wood. He felt all of that. He's still down on the far side. Now only 3 forward. Oh, here comes Blake Wood now getting back into it. Stepped right back in to block the next shot. Bouncing puck. They're able to clear that one. If it was only 3 seconds later, all 4 Wranglers go for a change as Forbes, Duggan, and Grimbleby come out. Penalty is over. They get the change in. Davis and Sabre come out. Duggan with the long distance shots, miss wide on the side to Pelter. Sherbrooke now controls. 14:30 remaining of the second period. In comes Sherbrooke on the outside. Can't find their way. Duggan now controls. Nice stutter step. He's going to put this one up. Now a foot race. Sabre should be in behind. He doesn't get there. And icing is the call at 14:29. Sherbrooke opts for the right-handed face-off in front of Neal. Duggan, Davis, and Sabre out there. Grimbleby and Forbes. Face off, pushed through, one but controlled by Sherbrooke. Lots of busy sticks controlled out. Now the Wranglers can get their change in if they need to. They ought not to change. Keep the original line on. Duggan steps in for the draw. Face off, won by Sherbrooke. They work to the outside. Bouncing puck, deflected high and wide outside by Sherbrooke, but the puck will stay inside. Again, the only opportunity Sherbrooke's getting is from way on the outside. Garley, Jackson, and Ty Wood now come out on the forward line for your Wranglers. 14-16 remaining of the second period. Face off, one controlled by the Wranglers. Bouncing puck, Ty Wood could get by on the offside called. Face off will be in the neutral zone. On the right-hand side of Neil, away from the bench of Sherbrooke. Face off, push through, one by Sherbrooke. Turn long distance fire in the corner. They miss wide. Ty Wood and Grimbleby both hit their man on the half board. Sherbrooke controls. They try to walk out. Forbes forces his man to the outside. Grimbleby drops his player in front of the net as they tangled up with him. Huge battle out front of the net as Grimbleby put a lot of busy work on there. He's going to pull his man down. Neil also helps out. Forbes is having a conversation here with Trudell as he bumped into Neil. Forbes did not like that at all. As now Sherbrooke walks in, fires. Neil's going to hang on to that one. Forbes skates right by the bench. He has some words more for Trudell there for bumping Neil, as Neil did also try to help out Grimbleby there, but Lance Brown steps in on the draw. He's out there with Emma Guest and Sylvain on the far side. Bouncing puck kept in at the line. Picked off by Blake Wood, the defenseman. Up. Here's Sylvain on the outside. Tries to take a step. Oh, just shoots wide. What a great heads-up play as they try to work it on the inside. Fired wide again. Sylvain's going to beat them there in the line. He fires it into the corner. Guest can't circle away from his man. Bouncing puck. Sylvain now gets it, turns, fires. Brown right there, just misses wide. At 12:57, Wranglers now putting a lot of pressure on Sherbrooke. Blake Wood's going to step up on that, keep it at the line. Sherbrooke's going to back up now. Now they're going to carry this one out. Brown steps up through the neutral zone. They can't skate through three sticks there. Lots of stick work. We hear the slapping up here. Rose is going to bank this one off. Ledger was goading Rose there for a second. There will be a problem there later on, I think. Rose steps up. He won't back away from anybody. Long distance pass, quick shot. Neil flashes the leather and hangs on to that one at 12:16. Lots of conversations here. Targeting number 34 for Sherbrooke. Not sure what happened there. Sherbrooke backs up, carries it away. As Sherbrooke now goes right to left behind Pelter. David Duggan now picks up the puck, goes back to Grimbleby. Grimbleby puts this up to Sabre. Sabre tries to cut through, can't do it. Now a foot race in. Steven Sabre hits the forecheck on that one. Sherbrooke now comes back and helps out. On the half board, Sherbrooke has to turn and fire away. Turnover. Back comes your captain, David Duggan. Tried to find Davis there, couldn't find him. Out comes Sherbrooke. 3-on-2. Duggan is back. Sherbrooke cuts through neutral zone. Quick shot. Fans on that. Misses to the left. Out to the shooting lane. Here it is. Neil steps up. Blocker saved to the side. And broken up by David Duggan. He's going to take a breath here behind the net. Dishes off to the side. As Sager dumps that around the outside. Back over to Forbes. Forbes looking for the outlet pass. Opted not to throw that up to Davis as Grimbleby carries this one in over the line. Logan Grilby cuts through, tries to get a stick on that one. Bouncing puck just missed wide as Ty Wood now tries to work this one in. 11 minutes remaining of the second period. Logan Grimbleby now finds Garley. Away on his stick, bounced off the glass and out carries Sherbrooke. They turn, fire in behind the net. Neal's going to let this one go. Grimbleby and Rose both cut back. Nobody there as Neal's got to step up on that one, and he knocks his own save away as everybody missed the assignment in the middle of the ice. Bouncing puck. Sager couldn't control that one. Neal's got to knock that one down. Rose up to Garley. Garley carries this one through, puts it up to Wood. Wood dumps this one in. Long distance shot on Pelter. He puts that one into the corner. You check Instagram? You check Instagram at the break? In comes Sherbrooke on the outside. Tries to find their way in. Shot across. Ty Wood breaks that one up. He's going to bank this one out. Now a foot race. Lance Brown beats his man. Here's Lance Brown in behind. He walks in all off the side of the net. That was Lance Brown. He's having one heck of a game tonight. Lance Brown on the forecheck. That will negate the offside as Brown carries that one in. The Sherbrooke player carried that one in. Uh-oh, here comes Sherbrooke. 3-on-1. Rose is back. Sherbrooke tries to find the outside. Broke it up. Neal steps in, kicks that to the side as Guest also got back. Guest is going to carry this one on. The BC native tries to fight his way through. Almost takes a high stick. He's put into the boards right in front of the Wrangler bench. Brown causes a turnover. He's going to carry this one in. Can't get it across to Sauvin. Off the referee's foot. Now there's a tangle up as Rose and the Sherbrooke player have some words. Sauvin, nice stutter step on the outside. Can't get it in. 9 minutes remaining of the second period. Forbes tried to shoot that one through. Deflected into the corner. Guest now controls on the outside. Tries to work it in. He's knocked down. Lance Brown works his way in behind the net. Guest almost gets control of that back as he forces into the corner. Sherbrooke now works on the outside. They're taking their time to break this one out. Guest gets a change in as your captain, David Duggan, is going to step up. Icing will be the call.
This Kingston Wranglers broadcast brought to you by Haymakers in Kingston refers to Haymakers Urban Kitchen, a family-friendly canteen and catering service located inside the Investia Center.
Face off to the right-hand side of Pelter. This is David Duggan, Sabre, and Davis out there. Forbes and Grimbleby on the point. Face off one back to Forbes. He opts to go low down to Duggan. Duggan now in behind the net. Tries to find the outlet pass. Has to go back to Grimbleby. Duggan now in the corner. He's forced. Grimbleby steps up. One hands this one in off a foot. Bouncing puck. Grimbleby keeps this one in. Dumps it in off of hand of Duggan and out of play. 8:13 remaining of the second period. Sherbrooke changes. Again, thank you so much for joining us here on Black Bear TV. This is your captain, David Duggan, on the draw. Sherbrooke wins the draw. They're going to back up. Long distance pass broken up by Grimbleby. Duggan back. He's going to quick turn fire. Can't get this one out. Still held in at the line by Sherbrooke. Duggan gets a stick on that one. Forbes is going to bank this one off on the backhand to Davis. Davis couldn't find it in time. Sherbrooke turns this one back over. They have to back up at 7:50 remaining of the second period. Work on the outside. Sherbrooke tries to find their way out. Now they do. 2-on-3. Odd man rush. Quick shot. Neal kicks that one off to the side. At 7:37 remaining of the second period. Wranglers sneak in a quick change here as Garley, Sager, and Blake Wood on the point. Jackson Payne is the other forward on that forward line with Garley and Sager. Rose and Wood, Blake Wood on the point. Face off, one pushed through by Sabre. Garley couldn't get up there in time. Now a puck, Jackson Payne and Garley both racing for it. Jackson Payne tangles up with the Sherbrooke player. Their headlocks going on right now as Payne forces his way through. Everybody's helmets undone. Payne takes a whack, no call. They're yelling at him to get his helmet changed. Payne's going to turn and fire, get this one out. Referee's trying to get him to get his helmet done up. He's going to make him change. Rose steps up on his man as Sherbrooke tries to get inside. Neal's going to hang on to that one at 6:53 remaining of the second period. Lots of little chippy stuff happening in behind the whistle. Sylvain, Gaston Brown, now your forwards. Grimbleby and Forbes on the point. 6:53 remaining of the second period. Brown steps in for this draw. Face off, push through, but controlled. Long distance shot, bouncing puck. They can't control. Sherbrooke long shot. Neal knocks that one down. Can't hang on to it, though. They clear it. Guest now tries to bank his man. He's hit hard into the bench. Broken up play. As what a save by Neal as he stretched across for that one. They work it low now on the outside. Sherbrooke tries to find their way in. Still can't. Grimbleby forces his man back. They try to put it across the middle. Sylvain's going to turn that one over. Up to Brown. Brown couldn't get it to Guest. Off a leg and inside. We're 6:10 remaining in the second period. Still 1-0 for Sherbrooke. Long distance shot. They're going to let this one go. Icing is the call. As we'll go back and take a look at that last play for Neal. As they tried to work this one in. There's the first one. There's the hit there in front of the net. It's right here. Long distance shot. There's the tip. And Neal stretches across off the post. Chris, the cameraman, did a great job centering that shot. As Sherbrooke tries to dump this one in, kept it at the line by Forbes. He slaps this into the corner. Lance Brown out front, nobody there. Sherbrooke has to back up. In comes Sherbrooke, 3 wide, odd man rush on the outside, tries to find the shot. Neal easily handles that one. Wranglers going to get their change in. Blake Wood and Rose come out on the point as Grimbleby, Steven Saber, and Braden Davis come out on the forward line. Duggan steps in on the draw. Sherbrooke wins that draw off a linesman's foot into the corner. Sherbrooke has to back up. Long shot blocked by Saber. He's going to turn and fire all the way down as it misses wide. 5:31 remaining of the second period. Again, thank you so much for joining us here on Black Bear TV, live from the ranch, Kingston, Ontario, Canada. Again, special thanks to the Black Bear crew, technical crew. Joshua tonight did a great job getting us online. Steven Saber breaks this one up. Now a foot race. Saber's racing Cote into the corner. He's going to hammer him into the boards. He's going to hang on to him, tries to get this puck out. Sherbrooke tries to clear. They can't. David Duggan goes right in behind the net. Saber picks it off. Tried to go in front to Davis. Couldn't find him. He battles his man in behind the net. High hit. Sherbrooke's going to carry this one out. Broken up. Blake Wood. Wood gets this one outside the line. Duggan's got to come back as well as Saber. Sherbrooke had to tag up. They do tag up. Long distance shot. Broken up again by Blake Wood. Shot high up out of play. Saber got dumped in behind the play there. No call from the official. Forbes and Grimbleby come out on the point. Jackson, Payne, Gavin, Garley, and Ty Wood come out on your forward line. Garley steps in for the draw. Face off won by Garley. Shot around the boards. Bouncing puck that kept in at the line. Offside is going to be delayed call. But Grimbleby going to carry this one out on the outside. Can't shoot this one in off the linesman's foot. Linesman in the wrong position, standing right on the line. That's linesman 101 right there. Get your butt inside on the rush. Long distance shot as Ty Wood has to go back. Grimbleby. Neal's going to one touch to Grimbleby. He's going to take a breath here at 4:20 behind the net. Sherbrooke's now going to attack. Pass up to Jackson Payne. Payne off a stick, icing negated. As Ty Wood tries to catch up to that one, they're going to bank this one off a leg, kept in. Sherbrooke now comes out 2-on-3. Lance Brown back. They keep on side. Forbes forces his man to the outside. Garley back as well. Sherbrooke can't find their shooting lane. Tried to work around the outside. Still can't find their way in. Sherbrooke forced on the outside. Lots of legs and sticks. Busy. Bouncing puck knocked away from Neal. Ty Wood now has it. Banks it off behind the boards. As Forbes is going to turn and fire this one, but read by Sherbrooke, they knock this one down. Gavin Garley now just going to bank this one out. Icing will be the call at 3:26 remaining of the second period.
This Kingston Wranglers broadcast brought to you by the Merchant Tap House. Our historic building houses a unique, laid-back, and comfortable dining experience with one of the largest outdoor patios in town. This Kingston.
Lance Brown stepping in, taking his time, coming in on this draw. Face-off won by Brown. Grimbleby fires this one around as Garley can't get to that one right away. Back in the corner. Forbes is going to go back the other way. Ty Wood has control, can't get this one as well. Penalty coming up. Interference is the call against Sherbrooke as he ran a pick in the corner, knocked Forbes right out the puck. And a great opportunity here for the Wranglers to go to the power play at 3:13 of the second period. Face-off will be to the right-hand side of Pelter. Brown, Guest, Sauvé. Blake Wood's going to move up. Sylvain's going to stay back with Rose. Face off one clean. Rose back to the far side. Sylvain tries to work it in. There's a shot. Oh, just blanked wide as Blake Wood had a clear shot on that one. Drop past Sylvain. Battles his man on the half board. He's in a little bit of trouble. He spins away. He's got some room now. Sylvain's going to carry this one in on the outside. Spins away from his man on the half board. Back to Brown. Brown over to Rose. Long distance shots. Pelter's going to hang on to that one. At 2:47 remaining of the second period, 1:34 remaining in the penalty to St. Germain from Sherbrooke for interference. Brown's going to step in on the draw. Blake Wood stays up front with Guest, Rose, and Sylvain on the point. Brown wins this draw. Guest intercepts that pass, has to work loose. Guest tried to go across, almost picked off. They knock it down. Rose has to step up. He keeps it in play. Sylvain on the half board. Tries to find the outlet pass. Goes back to Rose. Nice low pass off a foot. Oh, what a great chance by Lance Brown to Guest. Guest back to Rose. Rose back to Guest. Guest on the half board. Tries to fire across. Oh, Blake Wood almost releases that one-timer. Couldn't get it a lot on that one as he battles on the half board. Sylvain comes in to give him a hand. He's going to carry this one out. In behind the net. Tries to find an outlet pass. Can't. He's got Guest behind him. He doesn't see him. Drop to Rose. Rose is going to step in on the outside. Quick shot. Missed wide. Wranglers can't get this one. Now a foot race. Sherbrooke player is going to beat Wood back. He cuts to the outside. Neal poke checks that away. As Sherbrooke can't control, they're going to back this one up. 35 seconds remaining. Long distance shot. Oh, bouncing puck. Almost fooled a couple players there. As offside is the call on the long distance shot. Referee says all the way down. Again, another great little opportunity here for the Wranglers. David Duggan, Sabre, Garley now come out, Grimbleby, and Davis. Sabre will be the forward playing back on this power play. Shot around the outside now, foot race. Grimbleby beats his man to the far side, keeps it in. 20 seconds remaining, bouncing puck. Pelter can't find that one. They're going to turn fire. Davis knocks it down. Sherbrooke's going to turn, fire, slap down by Grimbleby at the line. Nice play. As Sabres got to keep this one going as they got to stay on the good side of the puck. But now controlled off a puck, bouncing puck. Duggan couldn't find it. They're going to turn, fire, knock down, bouncing puck kept in. Now foot race on the backhand, shot, scores. What an unfortunate change of events there as it ended right at the end of the power play. Backhanded shot just went underneath the bar. And 2-0. Right near the end. That was a heartbreaker right there. As we'll go back and take a look at it right there, you'll see just the little bouncing puck up underneath the bar. And they squeezed that one in. 2-0 for Sherbrooke as we're just above 1 minute of the second period. Face off, one shot back in by the Wranglers. Going to control off a board. That's Forbes. Up to Duggan. Duggan can't get this one through. We're now 55 seconds remaining in the second period. Back comes Sherbrooke on the outside. Forbes forces his man to the outside, back of the shooting lane. Neal kicks that off to the side. Wranglers control, turned back over by Sherbrooke. Ledger now can't find his way in. St. Germain on the outside. Long distance shot high above the glove of Neal all the way down. Battle in behind the play. As Pelter's got to come out, they're going to drop this behind the net. 28 seconds remaining as they work to the outside. Duggan's going to work this one low. He's got Sabre and Duggan with him. Davis couldn't handle that. 20 seconds remaining. Sherbrooke's going to circle away. Out comes Sherbrooke down through the middle of the ice. Has a bit of a sidestep here. Long distance shot. Neal kicks that to the side at 7 seconds. Long distance shot at the top of the stick. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. They won't get a chance for a shot on that one as a bouncing puck as Davis was able to spring free. Well, at the end of the second period, 2-0 for Sherbrooke. We're going to go to the intermission show, and we will catch you 2-0 for Sherbrooke here at the ranch.
This Kingston Wranglers broadcast brought to you in part by Realm Sports Spring Tournaments. Check out all the tournaments they have to offer. In their 16th year of hosting tournaments, Realm Sports is proud to offer various spring tournaments for all levels in Kingston. Their tournaments include Adult Hockey Classic, Ontario Prospects D2, D3, and Junior Boys Hockey Challenge, Ontario Prospects Girls Hockey Challenge, Ontario Prospects Ringette Invitational, and the Realm Spring Cup House League Tournament. Register your team today at realmsports.com. This Kingston Wranglers broadcast brought to you in part by Realm Sports, hosting spring hockey 4-on-4 leagues in Kingston, Napanee, and Girls League only based out of Napanee as well. Head on over to realmsports.com to register your player today.
This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers hockey brought to you by HDC Kingston Realm Sports, Hockey Development Center Kingston is the newest state-of-the-art facility brought to Kingston, located at 1325 Centennial Drive. It offers programs to players from U8 to U20. Programs include our skate mill training and total training package, utilizing our 2 skate mills, Fusion Skating Zone, and much, much more. This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers hockey brought to you by, in their 16th year of hosting tournaments, Realm Sports is proud to offer various spring tournaments for players of all levels in Kingston. Tournaments include our Ontario Prospects D2 and D3 Boys Hockey Challenge, Ontario Prospects Girls Hockey Challenge, Ontario Prospects Ringette Invitational, and the Realm Spring Cup House League Tournament. Register your team today at realmsports.com. This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers hockey brought to you by TPH. Realm Sports Academy, powered by TPH, is an academy offered to students grades 6 to 12, looking for a holistic approach to academics. The academy offers specialization in sports, including hockey, baseball, softball, and golf. This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers hockey brought to you by 417 Bus Line, founded in 1958 in Castleman, Ontario, is a bus and charter transportation provider serving the Ottawa region with a large fleet of over 850 vehicles. This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers hockey brought to you by Realm Sports is a family-centered multi-sport academy located in Kingston, Ontario. They offer a variety of programs, including sports tournaments, spring hockey leagues, teams, and camps designed for different age groups. The organization focuses on providing exciting and educational sports experiences.
This Kingston Wranglers broadcast brought to you in part by Realm Sports Spring Tournaments. Check out all the tournaments they have to offer. In their 16th year of hosting tournaments, Realm Sports is proud to offer various spring tournaments for all levels in Kingston. Their tournaments include Adult Hockey Classic, Ontario Prospects D2, D3, and Junior Boys Hockey Challenge, Ontario Prospects Girls Hockey Challenge, Ontario Prospects Ringette Invitational, and the Realm Spring Cup House League Tournament. Register your team today at realmsports.com. This Kingston Wranglers broadcast brought to you in part by Realm Sports, hosting spring hockey 4-on-4 leagues in Kingston, Napanee, and Girls League only based out of Napanee as well. Head on over to realmsports.com to register your player today.
This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers hockey brought to you by HDC Kingston Realm Sports. Hockey Development Center Kingston is the newest state-of-the-art facility brought to Kingston, located at 1325 Centennial Drive. It offers programs to players from U8 to U20. Programs include our skate mill training and total training package, utilizing our 2 skate mills, Fusion Skating Zone, and much, much more. This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers hockey brought to you by, in their 16th year of hosting tournaments, Realm Sports is proud to offer various spring tournaments for players of all levels in Kingston. Tournaments include our Ontario Prospects D2 and D3 Boys Hockey Challenge, Ontario Prospects Girls Hockey Challenge, Ontario Prospects Ringette Invitational, and the Realm Spring Cup House League Tournament. Register your team today at realmsports.com. This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers hockey brought to you by TPH. Realm Sports Academy, powered by TPH, is an academy offered to students grades 6 to 12, looking for a holistic approach to academics. The academy offers specialization in sports, including hockey, baseball, softball, and golf. This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers hockey brought to you by 417 Bus Line, founded in 1958 in Castleman, Ontario, is a bus and charter transportation provider serving the Ottawa region with a large fleet of over 850 vehicles. This broadcast of the Kingston Wranglers hockey brought to you by Realm Sports is a family-centered multi-sport academy located in Kingston, Ontario. They offer a variety of programs, including sports tournaments, spring hockey leagues, teams, and camps designed for different age groups. The organization focuses on providing exciting and educational sports experiences.
Welcome back, everyone, to the third period here at the ranch. 2-0 for Sherbrooke. Kind of a slow start here. Yeah, the linesman's really working us. He's working it tonight. Sauvé, Brown, and Guest out to start this third period off. Rose and Forbes on the point. Face off again, won by Brown as he shoots this one through the legs. Sherbrooke's going to control as they back up. Puck almost gets away on the Sherbrooke defenseman. As Sauvé bouncing puck all the way through. Icing is waved off. They said there was touch. There was no touch. As Forbes puts that around the outside. Here comes Brown. He lights long pass. This is Sauvé on the outside. He's going to dump this one in. Sauvé stands him up as Sauvé tried to cut through the inside. Brown now fights on the side. Guest comes back to help. They work on the outside. Guest still controls. Backhand turned over by Sherbrooke. Sauvé gets it right back. He's going to step around, tries to find an outlet pass. He finds it over with Rose. Long distance shot. Pelter kicks off the side as Guest is pushed to the ice. Bouncing puck. Sauvé keeps it into the corner. Emmett Guest now behind the net. He's going to control. Find the outlet pass back to Ashton Rose. He keeps it in at the line. He's going to go on the half board, drops his man as Rose backs up the other way. Rose throws yet another head. He's got a chip on his shoulder for the third period as Neal kicks that to the side. Bouncing puck. Sherbrooke back. Now they shoot around the net. Sabre has to go on the half board. They go back to the point. Bouncing puck. Can't control. Wrangler's going to finish their change. Out comes Davis and Duggan. Sherbrooke now tries to find the shooting lane. They can't find it. Bouncing puck. Kicked off a foot. Here's your captain, David Duggan, now through the neutral zone. Oh, puck gets stripped off of him. Turn around the other way. Rose steps up, knocks his man off. Sherbrooke keeps it at the line. Rose is going to gain control back. He's going to find an outlet pass. He's just taking a sidestep there, dumped in. Now a footpath. Icing is waved off as they work on in behind the net. That one was not tipped as well. Blake Wood drops his man in the corner. Duggan goes in behind. Grimbleby now back. He's going to clear the puck. Cotes has to catch this one up. Davis on the forecheck. Gavin Garley on the change. Bouncing puck. As Blake Wood has to go back in behind the net to play that one. Blake tries to put up the tie. Wood. Again, the Woods try to connect again. As Ty Wood has to go back to help Blake Wood. They shoot around the outside. Garley goes on the half board. He's going to step around, have a look. Goes across to Ty Wood. Jackson Payne breaking out there, picked off by Sherbrooke. They're going to turn and bring it right back in. Long distance shot. Neal blocker save into the corner. Bouncing puck. Grimbleby now handles this one. Tries to fire it down the ice. No change by the Wranglers. Face off will be the left-hand side of Neal. 17:03 remaining of the third period. 2-0 Sherbrooke. Face off, pushed through by Sherbrooke. Garley stays right on him. Sherbrooke has to go back to the point, trying to find their way in. Long distance shot. Neal kicks that off to the side there as Ty Wood now carries this one in behind the net. Ty Wood off a quick stick there. Jackson Payne, they're going to turn, fire this one back in. Grimbleby now picks this one up. He's going to take a side step. Goes on the outside. Off the foot. Up to Garley. Garley's going to shoot this one in as they go for the change. Icing is going to be the call as Lance Brown was able to get on the ice. They're going to send Lance Brown off and bring Jackson Payne back out. 16:30 remaining of the third period. 2-0 Sherbrooke. Oh, they're going to let Brown stay on the ice as they're going to sneak Jackson Payne off. Quick shot by Sherbrooke, and Neal flashes the leather and hangs on to that one at 16:28. Now the full change for the Wranglers as Guest and Sauvé come out. Brown's going to stay on. Forbes and Rose. Brown steps in on the draw. Sherbrooke wins the draw. They try to find their way in. Bouncing puck, fanned on that. Couldn't get control. Quick shot off a foot in behind the net. Sherbrooke now circles around the outside. Tries to find their way in. They can't find anything. Have to dump it into the corner. Forbes stays on his man on the half board. They try to battle the inside. Still can't control. Forbes is tangled up now. Can't get back into position. Now he gets back in as Sherbrooke stays on the outside. Long distance shot. Neal easily handles that one into the corner. Sherbrooke still controls. Now they try to give and go. Can't do it. And here comes Guest. The BC native now. Oh, just lost a handle of Sylvain. Gives support. And he's going to dump that one in. Sauvé also from Victoria, BC. The two BC boys getting together. Bouncing puck as Sauvé can't control that one. They get it on the inside. Forbes is going to step up, keep it in and behind the net. As Guest also tries to handle that one, can't do it. Sauvé and Guest still try to handle this one in behind the net. They're battling low. Brown is out in the shooting lane out front of the net as Sauvé drops his man in the side. Long distance shot by Rose, high above the net. Pelter couldn't get a handle on that one. Bouncing puck. And Marcus Forbes couldn't knock that one down. And icing is the call as Sherbrooke tries to sneak a bunch of players on the ice. Referee stands up and holds that off.
This Kingston Wranglers broadcast brought to you by Michael P. Lee, providing insurance services in Kingston, Ontario. They offer a variety of insurance types, including auto, home, and life insurance, located in the historical downtown Kingston.
Face-off was won by the Wranglers, but controlled by Sherbrooke as the Wranglers now turn to back this one up. We're just under 5 minutes gone in the third period, 15 minutes remaining. Sherbrooke's going to back this one up as they finish their change on the icing, picked off by David Duggan, your captain. Tries to find Sabre back to David Duggan. Oh, just off the shoulder. As what a great chance by David Duggan as Sherbrooke goes back the other way. Duggan strips the puck off of him on the outside. Steven Sabre is going to circle back into the corner as Blake Wood hits the brakes and turns. Long distance shot off the backhand. David Duggan just behind him. Steven Sabre now going to control 2-on-1. This is Sabre and Davis on the backhand, and Sabre is going to grab that one and hang on to it. As what an opportunity for David Duggan just a couple of seconds ago. As David Duggan walked in right here on the backhand, tried to go top shelf and just off the shoulder and the crossbar. And Pelter keeps that one out. Face off, won by Garley, back to Forbes. Quick shot, misses to the right as they work around the outside. Steps through Garley's feet. Ty Wood steps in, banks this one in behind the net. 14 minutes remaining of the first period. Third period. Jackson Payne steps up. He's got Ty Woods. Penalty coming up to Sherbrooke on the backhand as Pelter's got to grab that one. Now Rose is going to drop the gloves and go. Lots of punches thrown right now as Rose is trying to get his helmet off. Now they're throwing good. Now they get going on the half board. This is Austin Rose battling his man. Tripped his man. He falls the knee as Austin Rose keeps throwing the fist. Goes on the outside. We're blocked off by the mezzanine now. Rose still fights his man. They're still going. Unfortunately, we're blocked out. That was pretty exciting on that one as Chris, put the camera right here. Put it right here. Yeah, put it right there. Keep it right there, please. Sorry, folks. Yeah, right here. That's where Ryan's going, right? Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. Thought we were going to have a problem there at the corner of the bench. Just wanted to put a camera down on it as Aston Rose stepped in on the draw. Rosie got right on that one as they got tangled up. But we're going back to the initial power play on that one as Wranglers now go on the power play, 5-on-4. It was 2 minutes on the initial hook. Then there was the tangle up, and then Rose tangled up with the player from Sherbrooke. Referee trying to get this one going, 5-on-4. Emmett Gass, Brown, Blake Wood. Blake's going to move up on the forward. Sylvain's going to drop back as well as Marcus Forbes. Face off one, cleanly back to Forbes, over to Guest. Guest works a load of Brown. There it is. Scores! Blake Wood with the goal, and it's 2-1. As you'll see on the draw, they work this one around the outside. There's the pass. Blake Wood hammers that one home, and it's 2-1. What a great play by Blake Wood, and you just see how happy he was on that one. As the Wranglers have some life here left in the third period. Hate to say that the fight changes the course of a game, but Rose has got the boys all fired up on the long distance shot. Neil grabs that one at 13:33.
You can't come back with this song. What?
Face off, won and pushed out by the Wranglers. Sherbrooke has to back up, bouncing puck. Emmett Guest. Oh, he had an opportunity as the boys are really flying on this one. Lance Brown forward checking. He's got Guest and Sauvin on the forward line. Out comes Sherbrooke now. Turnover. Look at Browner turn that one over as he go on the outside. Blake Wood, your goal scorer. He's back on the point. Two Wranglers go for a quick change as Davis and Duggan both come out. Sauvin finishes his change with Sabre. Long shot, misses wide. Sherbrooke also finishes their change as they work on the inside. 13 minutes remaining of the third period. Sherbrooke can't find their way in. Tried to wrap it around the outside. Duggan with the one-handed pass on the half board. They finally keep that one at the line. Long shot, misses wide. Kept in by Sherbrooke. Bouncing puck. Sabre's going to turn fire. This one way up in the air. Bouncing puck. As Davis tags up, Sherbrooke has to go D to D. Quick pass. Sherbrooke gets this one out. Sabre's going to get control of this one. He's going to take a stutter step up to your captain. He's going to bump that one in as Pelter has to come out and play that one in behind the net. Sherbrooke now taking a breath in behind the play. They tried the long distance pass. They're going to control this one. Now they get it on the outside. Forbes tried to break that one up. He did. Sherbrooke can't control. 12 minutes remaining of the third period. Long distance dump in by Sherbrooke. They can't find their way in. Neil's going to control this one. Miscommunication between Neil and Grimbleby. Kept in at the line. They're going to kick this one out, though that was Davis that booted that one out. Long distance shots through a crowd. Icing is the call at 11:40 of the third period.
This Kingston Wranglers broadcast brought to you by Union Kitchen and Cocktails on Princess Street is your one and only spot for handcrafted cocktails, artisan pizza, handmade pasta, and fresh starters. There is something delicious for everyone.
Face off, one controlled by Sherbrooke as they try to go up through the middle. Forbes breaks that one up now. Sager now, he also carries that in. Here comes Gavin Garley on the outside. Shot off the Sherbrooke defenseman right back to Garley. Garley gets bumped on the side. Out comes Sherbrooke. Ty Wood tries to catch him as Forbes and Blake Wood are back. Long distance shot. Neil knocks that one down, cleared by Forbes. They're going to drop this one off, a race to the line. Sherbrooke wins that race. Quick shot off the arm of Neil as he knocks that to the side. 11 minutes remaining of the third period. Sherbrooke works to the outside, tries to find their way in. Long distance shot. Neil stands up, gets rid of that one. Sager battles his man in the corner. Forbes turns, fires that one out. Ty Wood gets this one out. He's getting his change in as Lance Brown comes out on that. Sager also changes for Emmett Guest. Work to the outside by Forbes. Sherbrooke can't find their way in. No tripping call on that one. Marcus Forbes reached in a little bit too far, but no call. They force to the outside, try to find the pass. They can't now. Foot race. Emmett Guest is going to try and catch him. Sherbrooke's going to win this race. Emmett Guest tried to reach inside, picked off by Sylvain. He's got a body with him. There it is. Oh, what a save by Pelter. What an opportunity as the Wranglers are buzzing on that one. As you'll see that on the outside. There's the turnover right there. There's the pass. There's the touch. Tries to carry that one in and just can't get it inside. Quick shot again. Pelter's going to hang on that one. Lance Brown, I think, sent a little prayer at the end of that one as he couldn't get it inside. We're just above the halfway mark of the third period. Wranglers buzzing here in the third period. 2-1 for Sherbrooke. Grimbleby grabs it in, tip high and out of play. What a great heads-up play by Sylvain to see Brown just standing there in between and just couldn't get that one in. Browner steps in on the draw, wins it to Sylvain. Back to Grimbleby, long distance shot. Bouncing puck. Brown tried to go behind his back, couldn't get it out front. Sherbrooke's going to turn and fire off a stick, now a foot race. This will be icing as Blake Wood beats the race back to the hash mark at 9:45. Face off will be to the right-hand side of Pelter. Brown wins that one, forces to the outside. Bouncing puck as Brown forces his man behind the net. Now they're going to chase this back. Sylvain steps up, long distance shot again, icing again. Sherbrooke having a heck of a time getting out of their own zone as they're just trying to stretch pass out and they're not getting it. Fresh legs coming on for the Wranglers. Duggan, Davis, Grimbleby. Sylvain is going to go off. Saber and Forbes. This is your captain stepping in on the draw. He wins the draw, forces through. Bouncing puck. Forbes has to step up. Can't keep it in. Saber's got to back up. He goes across to Grimbleby. Grimbleby one touch pass to Davis. He's hit hard against the boards. In behind the net. Nice forecheck by David Duggan. Sherbrooke, just streaks that one through, but Saber's going to grab this one as we return back to 5-on-5 hockey. Shot back in, bouncing puck. 9 minutes remaining of the third period. 2-1 Sherbrooke. Long distance shot, missed again. That's the third icing call in a row here by Sherbrooke. They can't get their defense off the ice. Wranglers are rolling their lines as they're trying to get this one going. Guest, Brown, Sylvain, Garley now come out. Forbes is going to stay on. Brown's going to take the draw. He's been red hot in the face-off circle tonight. Face-off won again by Brown. Bouncing puck. Forbes is going to turn, fire, tipped wide as Emmett Guest now tries to get in. Sherbrooke still can't find an answer as Guest now forward checking. Got Brown out front. There's a shot by Garley. Follow through shot. Hit St. Germain in the face as Pelter knocks that one down. Turn and fire into the hit. St. Germain right in the face on that one. As we'll see it right here. Here's the follow through. There's the hit in the face. No call. Lance Brown turned, fires. There's the open puck. Browner just couldn't get to it. And they keep it 2-1. Sager now steps in on the draw, tries to force this one through. Jackson Payne out there, Ty Wood, Forbes, and Blake Wood. Cross the ice, bouncing puck. Nobody can control that one. Ty Wood now has the puck up to Payne. Payne now dumps this in as he's hit into the corner. He's now going to chase his own dump in. hits the brakes, battles his man in the corner. Sager also comes in to help him out. As he is level, didn't have the puck. As he's just taken down. No call. Another cross check. No call by the official. As Sager gets worked over on that one. As the stick work starts, hits Neil high. He's going to hang on to this one at 750. Jackson Payne and Ty Wood both go to the official and talk about both those hits. As Sager didn't have the puck both times, they got absolutely drilled. Grimbleby now with the letter on his shirt. He's giving it to the referee. The referee told him to go. 7:49 remaining. Don't chew that. This is Wood now tries to get it out. On the far side, this is Saber. He's got Davis with him. Blakewood on the point. He's hit hard in between. Blakewood keeps that in. He's a goal scorer. Blakewood has to back up. He's going to go back to Forbes as they try to regroup. Saber, Davis, and Duggan. Long distance pass. Saber couldn't control that. Oh, bouncing puck. Here's Saber and Duggan. Quick shot. Saber misses low. Goes all the way back as Blakewood's going to back this one up. Over to his partner, Forbes. Forbes looking for the outlet pass. He's going to fire this one around. Gets all the way out to Davis. Davis is hit hard out by the red line, bouncing puck. He battles his man, trying to he gets it through. Now a 2-on-1 again. Duggan to Saber. Backhanded passes. He's taken out from behind by the defenseman. They're back. Lots of hard hits and slashes going on right now. As you could tell, this is a 2-1 game. 6:40 remaining of the third period. Saber goes off for a change as well as Davis. Brown and Sylvain come out. Your captain stays on the ice as they back this one up. They're going to gain the line. Long distance pass. Have to go to the outside. Marcus Forbes goes. Now they finish their change as Gavin Garley comes on the ice. Sherbrooke trying to work their way in. Bouncing puck. They work to the outside. Forbes now has this. He's going to fire this one. Bouncing puck kept in at the line. Still can't fire their way in. Bouncing pucks. Sherbrooke tries to go back to the point to keep this one in. They do. Forbes battles his man on the half board. They have to scramble to get this one. Bouncing puck. Still kept to the outside. Garley's got to touch up. Couldn't carry that one in as Brown backs up. Brown and Sauvé out there. Sauvé, they're circling around. Wranglers are going to start backing up. Give and go as Sherbrooke cuts through the neutral zone. Garley breaks that one up on the far side. He's giving support there on the far side. They break that one up as well. Busy sticks by the Wranglers. 5:30 remaining in the third period. Decent crowd for the Storm we have here tonight in Kingston as they're catching one heck of a hockey game here. But again, thank you for inviting us into your homes here on Black Bear TV. As Sherbrooke now circles away from their man, they work on the outside. Sherbrooke long distance pass, knocked away, bouncing puck. Guest can't get that one up to Duggan. Duggan's going to turn, fire. Sylvain's going to change as well as Guest. Davis on the ice. Grimbleby out there. Blake Woods out, and now Steven Saber back on the ice. Saber tried to break that one up. They can't. Davis back as well. Sherbrooke tries to find their way in behind the broken pass. Bouncing puck as Neal gets across. He has to take the net completely off, but he's able to get across and knock that one down as Neal had to get across in a hurry on that one. As Sherbrooke's going to carry this one in. You'll see the behind the back pass there, bouncing puck. There it goes across. Neal has to jam that post right there to keep it a 2-1 game. Face off to the left-hand side of Neal. Bouncing puck. David Duggan puts that into the corner. Grimbleby hammers that one. Bouncing puck can't get out. Sherbrooke has to work this low. Your captain goes back, picks this one up, fires it around the outside. Bouncing puck, shot to the outside, goes around the net. Saber now gets hit into the board. Sherbrooke does control in the own zone. Long distance shot. Neal's going to grab that one and hang on to it with 4 minutes, 19 seconds remaining of the third period. Rose is coming up. Ashton Rose will be joining us here in the broadcast area as Lance Brown steps in on the draw on this one. Face off won by Lance Brown. Brown steps to the outside, still has control, flicks it high through the neutral zone, bouncing puck. Here's Garley now, a little sidestep. He can't force his way inside. Nice play by the defenseman from Sherbrooke as Sylvain's going to work around the outside. Sylvain can't find his way. He's going to turn, fire off a leg of Sherbrooke. Out comes Sherbrooke. Garley hooks him, gets the puck back. Garley's going to carry in, quick shot. Pelter carries that to the outside. Brown now has to chase his man as they get back on this one. Sylvain also back, long distance shot, dumped in, shot wide. Guest is playing back on the point on this one. Out through the neutral zone. Sylvain can't get this one out. Sherbrooke controls. Now they're going to find it knocked away by Forbes. Shot to the outside, blocked by Guest. 3:30 remaining of the third period. Bouncing puck kept in by Sherbrooke. Sylvain can't get, that was Garley, sorry, can't get that out. Off the foot of Forbes. Forbes can't clear. Sherbrooke goes for the pretty little drop pass, but it's picked off by the Wranglers. This is Sylvain, works on the outside. He's going to dump and change as Duggan Davis now get out there. Guest is still back on the point as Steven Saber also joins his line mates. In comes Sherbrooke on the outside. Guest and Saber both force their mans back. Sherbrooke can't find their way in. Long distance shot. Grimbleby tangles up his man. We're under 3 minutes remaining of the third period. Sherbrooke has to work to the outside, cut off, tipped away by Saber. Battles his man on the half board. David Duggan also comes back. Almost runs into the referee. Guest now is going to control this one. Long distance shot. Kept in. At the line. There's the long distance pass. Brown, too many men on the ice. As finally everybody up here screamed at it as the back linesman follows it. That was easy. That was an easy call. 2:24 the third period. Too many men on the ice. Call against Sherbrooke. 2-1. Face off will be to the right-hand side of Pelter. Duggan, Lance Brown, Emmett Guest, Steven Saber, and Logan Grimbleby will be on the ice for this last power play. Timeout is the call. We will go to a short commercial break, and we will be right back. 2-1, 2:24 remaining. You're watching Wranglers Hockey on Black Bear TV. All right, we're back. 2:24 remaining of the third period. 2-minute power play. Too many men for Sherbrooke. Goalie out of the net. Here's Sylvain. Hit the post. How did that stay out? Right off the draw. Like literally dropped the puck. We come out. There's the face-off win. There's the puck. It's right there. We're off the post. Sylvain's going to see that in his sleep tonight. Lance Brown gets us back to Grimbleby. They're going to fire this around the outside. Sylvain behind the net. Back to Emmett Guest. Shot. Hits Saber. Emmett Guest couldn't find a handle on that one. They got to back up. Guest turns away from the Sherbrooke player up to Sylvain. Sylvain's going to carry this one in. He's going to force that one through to Lance Brown. Lance Brown to Duggan. Duggan walks out, fires it right into Pelter at 1:52 remaining. Sherbrooke finally gets their change in. 6 men on the ice for the Wranglers. Sabre, Sauvin, Duggan, Brown, Grimbleby, and Guest. All offense here for your Wranglers. Duggan wins the draw back to Grimbleby. He's going to put this in behind the net to Sauvin. Lots of sticks ready. Guest tries to find this one off a leg in the corner. Sabre races his man. They can't force that in. Guest is going to work this low to Sabre. Down to Brown. Brown to Duggan. Duggan through the zone as Pelter bouncing puck. Net's knocked off again. As the Wranglers are throwing everything but the kitchen sink at Pelter. And he's just keeping that out. As you'll see it right here, there's the pass, there's the bounce. Everybody's taking a swing at that, can't get it in, and the net's knocked off. Face off now, David Duggan wins that way too clean as Grimbleby has to back up. Grimbleby tries to battle his man, he carries it over the line. Sauvin's hit hard on the board. Kept at the line, this is Brown, works it out to Guest. Guest is going to fire that one to the outside and leaves that for Grimbleby. Shot into the corner now. Sabre bouncing puck, work to the outside. Grimbleby has to hurry, dumps it back into the half board. Sabre works it low down to the corner, back to Sabre. Sabre battles his man. Knocked down by Grimbleby. Keeps it in. Quick shot. Misses wide. As Sherbrooke's going to turn fire. Duggan couldn't control that one. Wranglers are going to back up one last time. 45 seconds on this 22 seconds. 45 seconds in the period. They turn fire. Sherbrooke's going to turn fire on this one all the way down. Empty net. Misses wide. 10 seconds remaining in the penalty. 30 seconds remaining in the third. 6 men still on the ice for Sherbrooke. Sauvin has to chase this one down. Everyone turns to fire as Duggan can't keep that in. This is going to be icing. 19 seconds, 17 seconds now in the third period. 2-1. Timeout will be the call again.
This Kingston Wranglers broadcast brought to you by Bar Homes, with 70 years of deeply rooted history in the construction industry of Kingston and the surrounding areas. The Bar family is pleased to help local family create their legacies by sharing our expertise and excellence in building.
We're just closing out here the 30-second timeout. 18 seconds remaining of the third period. 2-1 for Sherbrooke. 6 players on the ice. And out come the Wranglers. David Duggan, Batu Sauvin, Steven Sabre, Lance Brown, Blake Wood, Emmett Guest. Those are your 6 Wranglers on the ice as your captain steps in on this draw. Bouncing puck 1. Brownie on the backhand. Shoot! As Pelter stood his ground again on that one. Sauvin has been knocking there all night. As what a great opportunity again. As the Wranglers win that one. They try right off. There it is there. As Pelter just crosses that one over. Sherbrooke can get their change in now. 6-on-5 to keep the original 6 on the ice. 12 seconds remaining. Face off one by Sherbrooke. They're going to hammer this one around. Oh, bouncing pockets out as everybody now. There's the off the side of the net. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. And at the end of 3 periods, heartbreaking loss for the Wranglers. They had their chances. They just couldn't get it inside. And at the end of 3 periods, Sherbrooke 2, Wranglers 1. We will be here next week. We've still got a little bit of mouthing off here, but we'll be here next week here on Black Bear TV for the Kingston Wranglers. I'm Bill Newman, and we will catch you next time.